Good afternoon and welcome to the first episode of the 2018-2019 season with the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlaw. We're here to talk today about all things Cal U women's basketball. We have two very special guests with us, two of our four seniors. And ladies, if you could introduce yourself, tell the viewers who you are, where you're from, and what your major is.
I'm Sierra Barrett. I'm from Beaver County, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently in grad school and I'm studying entrepreneurship.
I'm Gianna Flood Francis. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm studying sports management.
All right, ladies. So, very different scene for us this year. Coming into the season, kind of new look for us. A lot of new people. Sierra, tell us a little bit about right now about the makeup of this team and kind of what you've been seeing for the first 7 games of the year.
I think the makeup of the team is a bunch of hard workers, a bunch of young girls willing to learn, kind of basically. What was your other question?
Just kind of where we started. Like, tell us a little bit about so far how the season's been going. Obviously 7-0.
Right.
Off to a great start, 2-0 in the conference so far. Went out east. Tell us about how do you think we're playing?
I think we're playing very well. I think there's still always room for improvement, just like the little things. But as a whole, right now, I mean, we can't beat 7-0, so
yeah.
I think we're doing pretty good.
Got to be excited with that. And see, tell us a little bit about, you had a different experience. Last year, one of the first times, something that you're not used to, you were injured,
right.
Had to sit out for a full year. Can you talk to us a little bit about, what you learned during that time and how you're putting that into your last season here at Cal?
I think I've learned a lot of patience when it comes to learning, when it comes to talking to teammates, when it comes to being in different game situations. I think the big word for me this whole year was patience, and I think it's helped me like on and off the court.
Absolutely, and can see a huge difference with that, just in terms in general of how you approach every single day. It's been really, really fun to watch you progress as a leader throughout this whole process. Gigi, to you, you had a full year under your belt last year with the team, coming back for your senior year. Tell us a little bit about how you think it's going so far, just in terms of how much time you spent off season preparing for your senior season and how you think it's kind of been coming to play during the year.
I think it's going well so far. I think that this year we're finally coming together as one. Like last year we were in different places, and I think now that we're coming together and it's better.
And tell us about what you did this summer, the preparation that you had going into the season, what you were doing, where you were working out, just different things that you were doing. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, in the beginning of summer, I was working out up here, and then I got to meet Brooke Williams. She used to play here, and then we started working out together at the YMCA on the hill.
Yep. And you can see that in your game, just the difference. I know you have always been known for your defense. Obviously, one of the reasons that you're here at Cal U is just how hard and how well you play defense. But you've really put some time and effort into your offensive game. Do you see that how that has translated over the past couple games?
Yes, I think it's getting way better. I'm able to do way more. I'm able to come from the outside in, like where I would be able to just drive, and now I'm able to take outside shots.
Yep. And ladies, getting close to it's kind of crazy how time has flown so far this year. Obviously, 7 games under our belt, have already gotten ourselves into the PSAC. Coming up with big games, we have Cheney on Saturday and then 2 more PSAC games between Bloom and ESU. Tell us how important each game is to you, Sierra, like what it means to get ready to play the game.
Honestly, I look at it way different this year because this is my senior year. So honestly, every single game, whether your record is 0-7 or 7-0, it means everything to me. And I, myself as a player and as a leader on this team, want everybody to go hard every game, regardless of who we're playing. So I come into every game with high expectations towards the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gigi, what are your thoughts? Last go around here. What are some expectations that you have of yourself and this team as we continue to go through the season? How important it is to you and what this program means to you?
Well, my expectations are very high because I feel like we are able to make it somewhere. And then I feel like, well, for me, every game could be the last one, so you never know. And you have to play your best every time, every point, even in practice.
And Sierra, you've been through a lot here at Cal U. We talk about your freshman year winning a national championship, having the opportunity to win numerous, PSAC championships here. What are your expectations?
Getting all 3 rings all over again, just like it was my freshman year.
Yeah. And when you're saying 3 rings, you mean obviously you're starting with winning the PSAC, and then you want to win the Atlantic region, and then the national championship. Now that's high expectations. What do you think it will take to get there?
Everybody being on board, us starting to get the little things right first so we can progress and not really worry about those in the future. Everybody coming to practice, working hard every day. I don't think any days we need to be slacking. We need to just come out straight off the gate, like right off the bat when we first get there. And I think, honestly, as long as we keep progressing and people got the right mindset, I think we can really do it.
Absolutely. And Gigi, tell me a little bit about why you like Cal. I know you came here, you transferred in. Again, year 2 for you. Tell me, what are some of the best things that you like about Cal? It could be either school, basketball, whatever. Just, what you like about it.
I would say all of you, like all of our teammates, and we're more of a team than where I was before. And then the coaches, they take their time to get to know us, and we're just not just random people, and we just go to practice and leave. We're actually a family. We actually hang together.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
And Sierra, to you, what do your teammates mean? I know they mean a lot to you, and you are the one, and Gigi, and all of our seniors. I think everyone has expectations, and you play very hard and at a high level. It's nice that you can talk to your teammates and tell them things. How do you think that you've gotten to that point where you can talk to someone outside of basketball, but yet come in and say, hey, listen, we need more from you? How have you gotten to that point in your career?
Again, I think it was patience. Just learning, just sitting out, honestly, and seeing how they react to how certain people talk to them, or how they would come back to me and tell me how they would feel because I wasn't out there. So I really took all that in and kind of focused over the summer how I would come in to try to be a leader, try to be the best leader I could for the team, so we could limit kind of all the distractions and all the things that we really just don't need this season. So I think really just observing kind of helped me. Yeah, it was very helpful.
Big learning experience. Something, again, that you're not used to because you're so used to playing all the time. And I'm sure that was difficult. Did you go through your stretches where it was really tough for you not to be on the floor?
Yeah, very hard, very hard. And then it also kind of sucked that sometimes they wanted kind of my input because I wasn't out there, which I understood, but it's still kind of.
Do you think it makes this year that much more special that you know what it was like to get basketball taken away from you for a time period, and then here it is, right there in front of you to tackle? Do you think you have a different mindset because of that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you too, obviously getting ready to finish your senior year, obviously have a little bit more time, but talk to us a little bit about what your thoughts are for plans for after basketball, after Cal U. Gigi, do you have anything in particular that you're looking forward to?
I don't know yet.
Yeah, and that's all right. You still have a lot of time. It's nice that you actually get a chance to focus on school and basketball and not have to worry about that. See, did you put any thought to kind of next steps?
I just want to hoop.
I
just want to play ball.
So basketball is still so important to you and everything that you do. Well, ladies, we really appreciate you being on the show today. I think sky's the limit for both of you outside of Cal U. I know it's so fun to be at practice with you both, be in games with you both, and have had the opportunity to watch you grow, you over 4 years, you over 2 years, and I just know that we are in a good place with you guys leading the way, and we're just really looking forward to following the rest of your senior year and being right beside you. So folks, that's the end of the first half of the Jess Strom Show. We want to thank Gigi and Sierra for being with us, and up after the commercial break, we have the main lady, Miss Jess Strom, joining us. See you soon.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay.
Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Codify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
As a student athlete in college, I first got involved with the NCAA at the national level. It was through the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, gave me an opportunity to advocate on behalf of all student athletes, to affect change and to make an impact. The NCAA is giving the student athlete a platform to voice their concerns and to be able to advocate for what's going to affect their well-being. The policies that are being put in place are speaking towards academics, they're speaking towards well-being, they're speaking towards fairness, creating a culture so that the student athletes have the best experience as possible.
And welcome back to the Jess Strom Show. We are now with the main lady, as I said before, Jess Strom. Welcome back. It seems like forever ago, but yes, just yesterday almost, that we were sitting here last year, and now we're back for the first episode. How are you?
Great. That's why I said it's like Groundhog's Day. I feel like we just do this over and over and over again.
It's basketball, more basketball, and then some basketball. Let's start talking about we're just going to jump right to the beginning of the year. I know that there's no highlights, so we'll just talk to the audience about some signature games that we had. Conference challenge. We always have typically the same conference challenge. A little bit of a mix-up, not a mix-up, but a little bit of a change-up. Added Charleston. So we had from the PSAC, both ourselves and Mercyhurst, and from the MEC, we had Charleston and West Liberty. Started the first game off with West Liberty. Do you remember that? I mean, it seems like
a long time ago. No, but our conference challenge, I love to open up with that because I think it's really good to play regional opponents early. You know, if you have goals of making the NCAA tournament, you have to play good teams in your region early. So I was really happy, actually, that Charleston joined because they're a good team this year. So I think for us, especially being at home, those were two huge wins for us. You know, West Liberty was what West Liberty is. You know, they shoot a ton of threes. They do the same thing. I just remember their big kid had a ton of points against us. Mm-hmm. But for us to get the first win, I think with a young team and a new team was just really important. And then the next day playing Charleston. Charleston's a good team. You know, still to this day, their only loss is to us. So I think that opening weekend was really good for us, and I'm glad we played them early, you know, just to see where we were.
And a new look for the Vulcans, something that we are not used to. Have a large number of players on the squad. You know, talked about in the off season what we needed to bring in. Can you talk to the audience and everybody that's just really interested about the number of players that we have added, the new people that we have added to the system, and why there was a need for it?
Yeah, I think if you look at the past couple years, we've really been hurt by injuries. You know, they have crushed us down the stretch, especially. So, I think at the end of last year, you know, we had 2 losses by 30 points. And you know, for us, we're competitors. I think our team is just competitive, and that was not okay. So I think we needed to change a little bit. We needed to change something. So I think, you know, we talked and decided we need to bring in a big class and competitive players, and you know, people that can come in and play right away for us. So I was kind of hesitant. I don't really like this many people. It's really hard to play this many people, but I think it's good for us. I think our practices are super competitive right now. You know, I think playing time is a little bit difficult, but I think it's just going to make us better.
What are some surprises that you have seen, you know, from the start of preseason to the beginning of the season until right now, almost to Christmas break, 3 games before Christmas break? What are some surprises that you've seen from this team?
I think the biggest surprise to me is how quickly the freshmen are getting everything. You know, I think I kind of knew what our leadership would be like. I think I kind of knew what the returners were going to be like. You never know with freshmen. But they have caught on, especially defensively, very, very quickly. You know, it usually takes people a year, maybe 2 years to get our defense down. But these guys have come in and got it right away. And I think also how quickly our team has come together as a team. You know, sometimes personalities play a big role in things, and we have 15 players, so there's a lot of personality. But they have done a great job being a team. And I think our preseason was very challenging, and I think that actually helped us come together as a team.
Yeah, and it's something that's really fun, I think, for a coaching staff when you get to watch the progress of people joining the team and just kind of how they fit into the mix. And I just don't mean basketball-wise. I know that's been fun for us. We just had a discussion about, you know, when you're sitting out right before practice and just kind of seeing the personalities and the cohesiveness. It's a really fun group to be around, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that it's the most fun group we've had in a while, just as people. You know, yeah, obviously basketball-wise, I think they work extremely hard. I think this is a very hard-working group. But yeah, they're fun, easygoing kids to be around.
Yeah, we've noticed a lot of laughter on bus trips, before practices, after games. But it's fun when you're winning. That really, really helps when you think that is something that's really, really important to this team and where we all are.
Oh, it's huge. I mean, when you're 7-0, you should be happy. And I think that we are in a good place right now. And I even think this team, though, faces adversity pretty well. You know, I think we put them through a difficult preseason for a reason, and there was some challenges that they had to overcome, and mentally, physically, and I think they did it. They did it early, so I think that really helped us at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and it seems to me that this whole team together as one just keeps responding to the call. Anything that you ask of them, they do. There's not much distractions. There's not a lot of, just other stuff, other noise going on that keeps them from getting better each day. And I know that that's been fun for us to watch.
Oh, it's huge. If we can focus on basketball, for us, if we're not worried about anything else, grades, getting in trouble, not going to study hall, all those things this team takes care of. You know, we don't really have to worry about the outside distraction. So for us, it's just basketball.
Yep. And getting back to the basketball, after we have the conference challenge, we go to Shepherd. And we also, that's in the region. Tell to the viewers and anybody that's out there listening about how important regional wins are.
Oh, it's huge. And I know sometimes our younger players don't understand it. We try to talk about it a lot. I know our older players talk about it a lot. You have to win early if you want to make the NCAA tournament. So we try to schedule regional games because you have to play so many of them, and especially on the road, you have to win those ones. So, we went to Shepherd, and they're always a tough team. They're physical. They really wanted to take Sierra out of the game, and I think some other people stepped up. Obviously, Gina with, I think, 8 for 8 from the three-point line.
Huge 30-point game coming from her.
Out of nowhere. So I think this is a team that, like, if you try to take Sierra away, I think other people are very, very capable of stepping up and scoring.
Now, something that's different for the Vulcans, and I know something that we've noticed the difference in practice is obviously defense is still stable. You can sense that in where the team is ranked in the NCAA in turnover margin and turnovers forced and in steals. So ranked very high. But the Cal U women's basketball team has been playing a lot more offense than in the past. Can you talk about the differences? Have you changed anything in practice? What are things that you think that we've gotten better at on the offensive end?
Yeah, I think we moved the ball much, much better this year. I think we're very unselfish. I think they don't really care who scores as much as getting a good shot. So I think our returners have improved offensively, and then I think the new kids just kind of followed what they do. I think that we just, like I said, pass better. We get out on the break better. we don't practice it any more than we have ever have. So I think it's just kind of a mentality.
Yeah, and a lot more confidence handling the ball. And I think that comes from the preparation that people do over the summer or during the preseason, different skills that they've gotten better with. And, you know, we obviously had the opportunity after Shepherd. You play Central State, you play West Virginia State. But let's jump right back into, you know, going to our crossover. Heading out east, haven't played anybody in the West yet. Heading out east, heading to Millersville, who made an appearance in the PSAC championship game last year. Let's start there. I know we had a little bit of a rough start in the first quarter, but then made our way along and got a huge win for the program.
Yeah, I think our first quarters haven't been very good. I hope that we can change that, but I also don't really get nervous with this team if we don't start off so well. I wish we would start off better. But, you know, Millersville is another scrappy team. You know, they always play hard. They might not be the most talented or whatever it is, but they always play tough. They play hard. So to go there and come out with a win was huge for us, and everybody played. It was good. We could rest, you know, our starters a little bit because we had a game the next day. So it was overall a good win for us.
Yeah, and then hopping right on the bus, heading to Westchester. What are your thoughts on crossovers? I know the preparation from a coaching standpoint is always difficult. You have scouts that you need to put in. You don't want to focus too much time and attention on one team before you play another team. Where are your thoughts on how you as a coach handle crossovers?
Yeah, I'm probably a little different than other people, but I don't look at the second team at all until we're done playing the first team. So I wouldn't look at Westchester until Millersville is over. You know, on the bus on the way to Westchester, that's when I'll watch them. But I think it's good preparation for the NCAA tournament, for the PSAC tournament, because you're going to play back-to-back. And for our team, they didn't hear about Westchester one time until Millersville was over. So I think it's very important to focus on the game before you focus on the next game. So for me, I guess I'm just used to it, but that's just how we do it. I know, obviously, you have to for the scout, but myself and our players, they know nothing of the second game until, you know, after the first.
And looking forward, Jess, you know, we have Cheney coming up on Saturday, and then only 2 more games after that, Bloomsburg, ESU, and then it's Christmas break. Can you believe it's already that time? Where is the time going? If you see the upcoming schedule, you'll see that big break from December 19th to January 2nd, and when we get into the West. So talk to me a little bit about these 3 games, what your goals are before you head into Christmas break.
Yeah, it's crazy that it's already this time of year. And I kind of want time to slow down because I really enjoy this team. I don't want this season to go too fast. But, you know, this is a great opportunity for us because we have 3 games and we have lots of practice time. So for us, if there's anything new we want to put in, this is the time. If anybody's banged up or, you know, a little bit injured here or there, this is the time to rest. So this break for us, these 3 games, is more about practice than, you know, the actual games. Obviously the games are super important, but for us, like, this is our opportunity to breathe for a minute and just get better every day.
Yeah, and also, you know, these are always the tough weeks, I think, in a season. You know, you have a bit of a break, which is awesome that you get to spend time on practice. I know as coaches, we love that because it's more practice time. As a player, do you think it's difficult to have that break because it's practice, 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 and then you have a game? It's not those breaks where you get to have the fun stuff, which is games.
Yeah, I think as a player you probably hate it, but as a coach, it's the best thing for us right now. But I think it's important to change practice up too. I think we really try to do different things. Obviously the structure is the same, but and I think we have fun at practice. So I don't think it's so much torture. They might tell you something different, but you know, I think as a player it's probably a little difficult, but we have some veterans and some leaders that understand that practice is still very important.
Yeah, and you know, it's a big month. You start PSAC games, you have Christmas, you have finals. Let's talk about that. You know, that final week is pretty difficult. And you know, a lot of times people can't get distracted. There's a lot going on. How do you keep their focus? You know, obviously they're student athletes, student first, athletes second, and I think that's something that we preach. We have an amazing support staff with our academic athletic resources. You know, how do you preach that you got to be able to do both? You have to be a student and get the grades you need to be, not only to be eligible, but productive members once you leave here, great citizens. How do you teach that? What is something that you do to help the players remain focused on being a student and an athlete?
I think it's just a focus. As soon as they come into practice, it's practice time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's that 2-hour block where they can kind of just practice and not think about studying, not think about where they have to be next, and just kind of focus on the next drill or, what we have the next game, whatever it is at that time. But I think our players do a great job of balancing.
Mm-hmm.
I think basketball is important to them. So I think when they come to practice, they understand that we have to get work done. And then when they leave, they understand that they have to do their schoolwork. We have some great students.
Yeah, we do.
I think that we have some really, really great students. So I think it's important. Both is important to them. So I think for them, it's just what they do.
And it's so fun to watch them do other stuff than basketball too. We have people that are doing some really cool internships, people that have done cool stuff over the summer. And then I think it's really fun as we get to see our players that have graduated, see what they're doing in their lives, with their jobs and what they're doing. It's just been a lot of fun, I think, to see that aspect of what they can do. Also, something huge in December, Jade's first birthday, your daughter, I know. It's so exciting. I know we talked about this in the car rides. Any plans that you have yet?
No.
For Jade's first birthday?
No plans. It's too early.
Too early to talk about.
So she might get a birthday party.
Yeah, might get a birthday party.
She might.
Now, here's the thing. I've seen videos. I can't understand. We've seen a lot of stuff with her in soccer. We've seen a soccer ball. This kid has excellent foot skills. When is the basketball going to be in her hands, and when is she going to focus on hoops a little bit more?
I think Santa might bring her a basketball hoop.
Oh,
so then she can start.
That would be so exciting.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much for sharing a little bit about Jade. I know that it's so much fun to see her. It's so much fun to talk about basketball. And that finishes up pretty much our first episode of the Jess Strom Show. Please follow the Vulcans as we play Cheney this Saturday. Do you know the time? I think it's 1.
1?
I think it's 1.
I believe. Yeah.
I think it's 1. 1 o'clock p.m. this Saturday versus Cheney. Join the Vulcans, and we will be back sometime in the near future with episode 2. And until then, thank you so much for your support. And if we don't hear from you, have a wonderful holiday.